All right, welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, 7:32 now. And, you know, one of the cool things that goes on here in Park City is the People's Health Clinic. And I've got somebody that's somewhat of a local celebrity. When Jen found out she was going to be out of town and Dr. Geoff Tabin was going to be here, she was a little bit disappointed. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You were working very late last night. We were talking jokingly just earlier about what did you have for dinner last night, and he said, "Well, I was actually in surgery." And so you're one of those guys that you really do spend a lot of time, a lot of hours working at trying to help people with their vision, and you've been with the People's Health Clinic since it started.
Pretty much
here in Park City. So for those that are maybe just tuning in and aren't familiar with the clinic, why don't you give us an overview of what this is all about?
The People's Health Clinic is a fantastic facility. It gives great care to the indigent and the uninsured of our community. It has a wonderful staff of volunteer doctors who come in and give their subspecialty care. And it's a bunch of world-class doctors who each donate their time. We have a fantastic full-time staff and people who run the clinic. It's fantastic for non-Native American speakers, and it services basically anybody who needs medical care but can't afford it. It's not an emergency care. It's not a place to go if you get stabbed, but it's a place to go for really good quality ongoing care. I'm an ophthalmologist. I'm an eye surgeon. I specialize in surgery on the front of the eye, and I have colleagues who do the other aspects of the eye, and I've been going about once every 3 weeks since the clinic opened, and I go one evening every 3 weeks and see people with medical diseases of the eye, and we arrange for state-of-the-art surgery for people who need surgery. We arrange for very low-cost eye drops for people who need drops to control diseases. And really, it's a fantastic facility in terms of just sort of guiding care for the people who most need it in our community.
What would you say the number one thing is that you work with patients? Would it be maybe something like cataracts or macular degeneration? What is it that you see most
Well,
of?
I help people understand what their eye problems are. The things I see mostly here are there's a large number of people with diabetes who don't get proper medical care. And so I see the complications of diabetes in the eye and those that need treatment. Actually, another member of our community, Bobby Kwan, is a retinal specialist. He's been providing free services in his private clinic for patients I refer. I do cataract surgery for people who have diminished vision from cataracts, which is the #1 cause of world blindness. I do pterygia surgery, anything that really is causing a disease or a problem. And I'm also kind of excited to say we've actually now have some optometrists we're teaming with who are providing comprehensive vision care. So I was so busy with diseases, then people who have medical problems of the eye, that if somebody just couldn't see because they needed glasses, I didn't have the time to give them the glasses or prescribe the glasses, nor did we actually have the resources to provide glasses. And now we're teaming with some other groups. We're giving great free eyeglasses to any child in need.
So it runs the spectrum.
It runs the spectrum, but the People's Health Clinic runs the spectrum of all the areas. And we have great orthopedic surgeons who volunteer their time, great urologists, great ear, nose, and throat. So we have all of the top medical specialists in the region are donating their time and providing great care.
Now, this has become somewhat of a model for other clinics, hasn't it?
It really has. It really has. It's one of the big expenses in our healthcare system are people who don't get care, they're indigent, and then disaster strikes, and then they come to the emergency room, and the costs are much, much higher. So we're trying to provide really good care. We schedule the appointments. So if you have an eye problem, you call and they'll tell you, "Oh, doctor, actually I'm coming this coming Thursday." And it's a really nice synergy. I'm the ophthalmologist. I work with a fantastic optometrist, Colleen Schubach at the Redstone Eye Clinic, who's fantastic for glasses, contact lenses. And then I see the medical diseases and surgical problems one day a week at the Redstone Clinic here in Park City, and the rest of the time I'm down at the University of Utah at the Moran Eye Center.
Now, what about your global? You're working on some global things, some international stuff.
Yeah, I came actually to Utah. I've been running a program called the Himalayan Cataract Project, which is www.cureblindness.org, for about 15 years. And we started out in Nepal developing eye services. In the world, there are about 50 million people who are blind.
Wow.
And that's blind not by American legal standards where you can see the big couple letters on the eye chart. This is unable to perform the tasks of daily living, completely functionally blind, according to the World Health Organization standards. And of that, 85% of the blindness is needless, it's preventable or completely treatable. More than 50% is from cataracts, which are easily operated upon. So I was in Nepal teaching cataract surgery, trying to develop a training program. I went to University of Vermont, where I taught for a number of years at their medical school, and we sort of tried to develop our program and our system. And then I was recruited to come out here to the Moran Eye Center at the University of Utah to develop a division of international ophthalmology. And we have really the premier division of international ophthalmology in the world. We're coordinating and linking our residents with the residents in Nepal and working very hard to start training programs in Africa.
That's cool.
And it's one of the most, actually, I just got back from Tanzania, where we went to a place that had never had eye surgery. We were doing a survey of blindness in one of the most remote places in the world. Actually, several. We're working with the UN Millennium Development Villages Project, an economist named Jeffrey Sachs, to look at the economic impact of blindness. When someone goes blind, a lot of people go blind at a very young age in the developing world. And when they go blind, not only can't they work, but it often takes a child out of school to lead the blind person around, or a person out of the workforce to care for the blind person.
Wow.
Plus, the life expectancy is very short. So
Isn't that interesting, though? That, I mean, in our society, we don't experience it at that level, and so you don't really realize all the services that we do have. So when you think about the People's Health Clinic, and what a great opportunity to get your eyes to the place where you need them to be to continue to take care of yourself and your family, compared to the international community, and people just don't have the same opportunities. What a great opportunity as a doctor to feel like you're giving something back.
And it's actually really, I was saying we're in Tanzania, we had about 400 patients who were totally blind. We also had no expectation. In America, everybody knows somebody's had cataract surgery and they know it goes great and they expect perfection. There, people are totally blind. They couldn't see the hand moving right in front of their face. And the next day, about 85% see well enough to pass the American driver's test. And there's just like this shock, and then this unbelievable smile.
Wow, what a great
experience. And just the joy and tears of joy. And
do you find that extremely rewarding?
I do. I do. I still get a pretty big rush out of just going to post-op checks the first day after, especially in a situation like that. But our whole goal through the University of Utah and the Moran Eye Center is to set up lasting programs and really to teach and exchange the skills, so that this year it was myself and my partner Alan Crandall from the Moran doing the surgery. We had one doctor we were training from Tanzania, and my hope is that in 5 years the Tanzanian doctors will be doing all their own surgery.
That's really cool. Let's switch gears real quickly. What would be your advice to people that, maybe locally, whether you are a candidate for help with the People's Health Clinic or not, what should we be doing as individuals to take care of our eyes? I mean, as far as, checkups, things to look for, if there are problem signs?
I think if you have a family history of an eye disease, if someone in your family has lost significant vision from macular degeneration, from glaucoma, from any other disease, if you're having trouble seeing, or if you're feeling chronic irritation and your eyes aren't comfortable, we're actually pretty darn good at eliminating people who just have scratchy feeling eyes, people who have itchy feeling eyes. You should come in and get checked. I'm at the Moran Redstone once a week, and at the People's Health Clinic every 3 weeks. If you're just having trouble seeing and you're under 55 and you feel like it's worth, Dr. Schubach is a superb optometrist at the Moran Redstone, and as I said, we have optometrists now at at the People's Health Clinic, if you're just having trouble seeing up close, you probably can benefit from glasses. People over the age of 55 should have a checkup, and then probably every 3 years until you're 60, and probably every year after you're 60.
That's good advice.
And the big thing is, if you're having a problem, you shouldn't ignore it, because most of the things can be caught early, treated, and there's no reason to struggle to see if you don't need to, and no reason to be in discomfort if you don't need it.
Cool. Well, listen, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to us.
It's been my pleasure.
And thank you for all the work that you do.
My pleasure. And people, who have more interest can look at the Moran Eye Center website about our international division, or look at www.cureblindness.org.
All right.
Or stop in at the Redstone and see me, or stop in at the People's Health Clinic and see me.
Very good. And I think the bottom line here is, if you think you have a problem, regardless of whether you can pay for it or not, do something about it. Because
Absolutely.
People's Health Clinic, or use your insurance, that's why you have it, to get your eyes checked out. Dr. Geoffrey Tabin, thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm impressed with all the stuff you're doing internationally, too. I didn't have any idea. That's very, very cool. All right, we're going to be coming right back with the Mountain Morning Show. Stay right there.